Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually really excited to film this video. But this video is going to be my March TBR. I have to admit, she is a huge, huge TBR. Like honestly very unrealistic, so don't be surprised if in a month's time when I'm doing my wrap up I haven't read half of these books. Because yeah, it's literally insane. I just got so many new books in February that I'm so excited to read. So I just kind of put a whole bunch of them in the TBR and I guess we'll see if we get to them. But yeah, I don't even know where to start. I think I'll start with the hardback books I have in front of me. So the first book is actually going to be my audiobook for the month. And that is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas. Would you believe me if I said I've never read this? It's actually insane. It's obviously been out for so long, years, and I bought it like when it released and I still haven't read it, but I do have the audiobook of it. So this will be my audiobook. Obviously guys, this is a massive book. This is a huge book. I think it's, oh my god, it's 800 pages pretty much. Oh no, it is. It's 801 pages. What have I just read on the last page? I'm so confused. Anyway. Yes, I got distracted by what I just read on the last page. This is my audiobook for the month. I don't know if I will finish this month. I might, because I got really into the first book's audiobook. It was really good. I love the narrator that it does. It's the same one that did the Throne of Glass audiobooks. She's amazing. I don't know if I'll finish this, but I might. So that's why it's on here, because I will be reading hopefully majority of this month. The next book has been on this channel an embarrassing amount of times and I still haven't read it. Hopefully this month will be the month. Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I still haven't read this one either. I know I've owned it. Well, I only got this book for Christmas and this is obviously my March TBR. But like, I have put this on my TBR January and February, I think, and I just still haven't gotten to it. So hopefully this month will be the month. I'm a little bit worried because this one has also been marketed kind of like The Hunger Games, and I've been reading Powerless and it's not like my favourite thing in the world, so I'm a little bit nervous that this one will have a similar vibe. But this one is vampires. And I love vampires. So I'm hoping that I will still, you know, really enjoy it. Fingers crossed. I didn't explain what the other one is about, but if you don't know what this one is about, I think, yeah, this human girl is adopted by a vampire king. But she's, I don't even know, wait, what? Basically she has to like fight in these trials against these vampire warriors, and obviously she falls in love with one of them. Or there's some romance with this guy named Rain. I don't really know. I think he is like a prince. I don't know, it's really giving Powerless to be honest, but we'll see how it goes, we'll see. And then, if you don't know, the Folk of the Air series is my favourite series in the whole wide world. Literally like my favourite books of all time. And then we have the, is it the Stolen Air duology? I'm not sure. But basically the second book in this duology is coming out. So on the 5th of March, a week today when I'm filming this, the next book is out. So I really want to reread this book because I haven't read it since it came out last year, and the events of this book is not very fresh in my mind, to be honest. I just remember I loved it and I read it super duper quickly. So I will be rereading this hopefully in the next week before the second book comes out, because when the second book comes out I want to instantly read it. And that leads me on to the next book. I'll put a picture of it here, but I will be reading The Prisoner's Throne this month. I'm so excited. This duology follows Oak, who we do meet in the Fauquebert series, but he is just like a 9 or 10-year-old boy. And it also follows another character that we meet in the third book, The Queen of Nothing, and it's kind of about their journey together, and it mainly follows the other character, the female character. It's like her book, and then Oak is kind of in it, and it kind of follows her journey. She's like a changeling child. I don't know if that's spoilers, but she's like a changeling child, so it's kind of her journey back into fairy and, you know, not being some little like, I don't even know what I can say without spoiling it, but it's really, really good. I personally loved it. I will eat up anything that Holly Black writes though, to be honest. Like, she's just phenomenal in my opinion. But I'm so excited for that one. I think I'm going to pre-order the normal edition from Amazon, because it's half price right now. If you guys are watching this and you haven't ordered this Prisoner's Throne yet, it is half price on Amazon, so maybe go and check that out. So yeah, that's the first 4 books, and then we have a huge stack of paperbacks next to me. I'm a little bit stressed because my battery is going down. I did not charge my battery. Oh my god. So the first book I've actually already started because I was in a little bit of a reading slump from Powerless, so I needed something fun to pick me back up again. So I started Restore Me, which is the 4th book, the 4th full novel in the Restor Me series. I'm only 134 pages through this one, so I haven't read too much, and I don't think I'll finish it before March starts, which is why I'm putting it in this video. But basically, if you didn't know, the Restor Me series was originally only the first 3 books, and then the author Tahara Murphy, she finished the series, and then she came back to it, like at a much later, well not much later, but she came back to it after like a couple years, I think. So this is the book where she like picks back up with it. So there's a few wild plot twists that I've already guessed. Not to toot my own horn, but I have already guessed the main plot twist of this book. I confirmed it with a friend. I was right. But, you know me, or maybe, I don't know how much I've really spoken about him on here, but like Aaron Warner. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, there's not too much I can tell you about this book without spoiling it, but this is a dystopian world where there's something called the Re-establishment, and they're kind of like destroying everything. And we follow our main character Juliet for us, and she has some powers, and the first couple of books are kind of just her like discovering and coming to terms with those powers. Yes. So that's that one. Then, by the way, I'm not doing these in any kind of like particular order, just how they're stacked in front of me. But if you saw my last video, you would have seen that I read A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn, and this month I will be picking up the next book. My camera battery is going down so quickly, oh my god. I will be picking up the next book, which is A Perilous Undertaking. This is like a crime mystery series set in Victorian England, and we are following our main character, Veronica Speedwell. In the last book, they were kind of following this murder of the Baron. She also has like, he's almost like a sidekick character, Stoker, and I really, really like him. He's kind of like grumpy, and it's so fun. But just looking from the blurb, I think we're following another murder in this one, but it's less directly linked to the two of them, if that makes sense. But I am so excited to read this one because I really, really enjoyed the first book. Yeah, this is a very fun series. Then the next book I'm reading is Small Island by Andrea Levy. I have to read this one for my university module, so this one definitely will be getting read. It actually has to be read for next Friday, which is, I don't know, like the 10th of March or something. So I need to get a wriggle on with this one. But I believe this is a World War II set novel focusing heavily on race, I believe. That's kind of all I know about it. So I am very intrigued, but yeah, it's World War II set. So it's, I don't think it was written in World War II. No. It was written like kind of around the year I was born, actually, 2004. But yeah, I am very intrigued with this one because it is a very well-known and popular and like critically acclaimed novel, and I think it's going to be a very important read, and I'm looking forward to reading it. Next, this was kind of a wild one that I just threw in last night because I was like, I kind of want to read that this month, and that is An Enchantment of Ravers by Margaret Rogerson. This is another like fae book. From what I know about it, our main character is a painter, and she paints the fair folk, so the fae, and she paints the prince of the fae. But she makes a really bad mistake, and basically she paints his eyes looking like sorrowful, mortal sorrow. I don't know. But that will make him look like really weak to his kingdom and his like subjects. So it's like a bad thing. And then there's a trial. Oh my god. Oh my god, this sounds really interesting, and it's a really short book. But basically there's like a trial, and they have to travel to where this like, I guess where the kingdom is and where the trial is gonna take place in the kingdom. They have to travel there together, and it's like a really dangerous journey, and I think they start to fall in love. So then there's like a little bit of a dilemma, you know, because he's like taking her to be on trial, but then he's like, wait, I kind of love her. So I'm very intrigued for this one. We have 6 more books to talk about. Oh my god. The next book you guys might have seen a lot all over BookTube, BookTok, everywhere, and that is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I honestly have no idea what this book is about, I'm not gonna lie. Me, very clueless. But it's like a fantasy duology that everyone was eating up. Everyone was reading this, and I was curious, so I got it, and now I'm gonna read it. But yeah, I'm sorry I can't give you more details on this one. I literally don't know what it's about. I'm just gonna go in basically completely blind. So, but that's kind of fun, right? I don't know. The next book, my friend just read this, and she loves what takes place in this book. You'll know when I show it, but she gave it 5 stars, and it just made me so excited. So it's probably one of the first books I'm gonna read and finish this month, and that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. So yes, my friend loves werewolf books. She just loves a werewolf book, and they are kind of fun, to be honest. I love the vibe, I love the concept. This one is a little bit confusing though, to quite a lot of people I've seen, because it's not a fantasy book. Even though there is werewolves and vampires, this is not a fantasy book. This is a paranormal romance, which honestly kind of makes no sense to me. Like, just make it a fantasy book, but it's not. But it is following a vampire bride and a werewolf dude, and they fall in love. Kind of all I need to know. Her name is Misery, which is so cool. What's his name? Low? Okay. Not vibing with that one. But Misery is a cool name. And yeah, it's just like, is there gonna be mates in this one? I hope so. I love mates. But there is something in this book that, if you have heard anything about this book, you've probably heard of it, and it is kind of wild. So as much as I'm excited to read this book, I also think it's going to be a very interesting time. Just based on what I know kind of happens in the mid to end section. And if you know, you know. And you know why this is going to be interesting. But I am also very excited. I've heard some pretty good things about this book. And I love Ali Hazelwood's books because they're just so easy and like lightweight, I feel like, to read. They're just so fun. So I am really looking forward to this one. And yeah, all I need to know is vampire, bride, werewolf, romance between the two of them. Can't wait. If you've seen my wrap-up video, which I believe is going to go up before this one, you would have seen that I read Gilded and Cursed by Marissa Meyer, and I am continuing, I am continuing my Marissa Meyer reads, and I will be finishing Harless this month. I don't want to talk about when I started this book, because I'm like 99% sure it was like October or November. But I'm finally here, back, ready to finish it. I got 120 pages in initially, and I will be finishing it. And I'm very excited to do so because I was enjoying it. I think it just wasn't the exact type of book I was wanting to read at that moment in time. But that doesn't mean it was bad. Clearly I'm back to finish it, and I'm really excited this time. Like, I can't wait to finish this month. This is a not necessarily Alice in Wonderland, it's a Queen of Hearts retelling from Alice in Wonderland. But if you know Marissa Meyer, she kind of does things in a bit of a darker, less fairy tale-esque way, which I love. And I already know that I think there's going to be a little bit of heartbreak in this book, with no resolution to it. Literally villain story, villain arc for the Queen of Hearts in this book, like literally villain arc. And I can't wait, because I do really love the darker tellings of Alice in Wonderland. I mean, Tim Burton's adaptations of Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass are some of my favourite movies of all time. I'm obsessed. So from what I already read, it was kind of giving those vibes already, specifically Through the Looking Glass, because we saw a lot of the Queen of Hearts and her sister in that movie, and it was very much giving those vibes. So I definitely think once I do finish this book, I'm going to have really, really loved it, and I'm very excited for it, to be honest. This will probably be one of the books that I read earlier on in the month as well, because I'm really anticipating like getting back into this book. So excited. And then the next one, I'm finally on my way to back into this world. It's actually a goal of mine this year to finish this world, this series that transcends multiple book series. If this is making any sense, I want to finish the main series of this world. I'm making no sense, let's just talk about it. The Shadowhunter books. Specifically this month I will be reading Clockwork Princess. Why did I say it like that? Princess, which is book 3 and the final book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. Some of her best work, let's just be honest. I think we're all on the same page here. Literally some of her best work. And yeah, as I was saying, it's kind of my goal to finish the main 4 Shadowhunter series this year. So I want to read this one, and then the Last Hours series, and then obviously the Mortal Instruments and the Dark Artificers. I have read the first 4 Mortal Instruments books, but I read them like 4 years ago, so I'm going to be rereading those. Same with the first Dark Artificers book. I also read that again like 3-4 years ago. I think I read it in like 2019, honestly. Wait, that was like 5 years ago. Oh my god, I've been reading for so long now. It's hard to keep track, but obviously I can't really explain what is going to happen in this specific installment of the Infernal Devices, but if you haven't read the Infernal Devices, it's set in Victorian England. We are at the London Institute for the Shadowhunters. We're following our main character Tessa Gray, who is an American woman, and she gets this kind of slightly mysterious letter from her brother telling her to come to London. And then when she gets there, she meets these weird sisters, literally their names in the book, the Weird Sisters, and it kind of just spirals out of control from there. Also, if you don't know, this series possibly has the most well done love triangle, and the only love triangle that I actually enjoy in literary history. Like, it's just probably the best love triangle that's been written. Cassandra Clare does a really good job with it. With Will and Jem and Tessa, it's just... Obviously, I'm a Will girl. Obviously. But you know, if you're a Will girl, I feel like you're a Damon girl, you're an Edward girl, like it just makes sense. But I do love Jem. Jem is a little sweetheart and I do really like him, and I am excited to finally jump back into this Shadowhunters world because it's been quite a few months and I know that this book is going to be heartbreaking and I'm a little bit scared, but I'm also really excited. Can't wait for this one. And then the last physical book, and then I have I think one more book to talk about, but the last physical book is If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. This book. I also don't know too much about this book. All I really know is that it's really sad at the end and you either care about it and your heart gets ripped to pieces, or you literally just don't care about the ending. That's kind of what I've heard. I believe it's a romance between these two characters, Autumn and Finn. I think it's kind of like childhood friends to lovers to, I don't even really know what's going on here, but a lot of people really love this book, and it's, like I said, some people just don't really care, and I'm super intrigued to see where I'm going to fall on that spectrum. I love sad books. I eat them up. If I cry at a book, I'm happy. It means I love the book, pretty much. So I am very intrigued. And also, we just got a new release of different perspectives, pretty much, I believe, of this book. So if I do like it, I will probably read that next one kind of soon. But yeah, as in terms of what actually goes down in this book, I am unsure. But it's meant to be really sad, and I'm very intrigued. I think it's going to be a really quick read, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if I read it in like a day. It is nearly 400 pages, but just the impression I get, I mean, text is huge on the page, and just like the style of novel it is, I feel like I'm going to fly through this one. And this is another one of the books that I am super duper excited for this month in March, and I can't wait to read it. But yeah, then the final book, I believe, hold on, let me double check. The final book I'm going to be talking about, and I'll put a picture of it here, is the first Magnolia Parks book. I'll be reading this on my Kindle. I like to have one audiobook and one Kindle book for the month. On average, sometimes obviously I do more. But that is like my designated Kindle book for the month. I have to admit, the premise of Magnolia Parks really confuses me. Because what I've heard is that it's basically like Gossip Girl, but in London, and there's like romance, obviously. But then like the third book or something has like a pirate ship on the front cover, and I'm just so absolutely baffled. But I guess I just need to kind of read it and read, you know, get into the whole series to figure out what that's all about. But yeah, I mean, Gossip Girl in London does sound like a pretty, like, just from that alone, I think I'm probably going to enjoy it. One of my friends has read it and said that I would enjoy it, and I feel like my friends know my reading taste pretty well. So I have high hopes. I really do hope I love it. But yeah, people love Magnolia Parks, and I do believe there's two like companion series within the World series, if that even makes sense. So like the series is called the Magnolia Parks series, and you have the Magnolia Parks books, and then the, is it Daisy Hastings? Daisy something books. So it's kind of a whole world and series to get into, but if I do like it, I will be getting into it. Fingers crossed, I like it. But I believe that's all of the books I'm hoping to read this month. Should we count? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 books I have here that I have just spoken about. 14 books. I may not read all of them. I may read other books I haven't spoken about. There is a couple that are kind of in my mind that if I get through this, I would like to read. We'll just kind of have to see how we go, but I am so super excited to read all of these books, and hopefully quite a few of them will feature in some videos and some reading vlogs, so you can see how I actually end up getting on with these books. But obviously if they don't feature, I am going to start doing monthly wrap-ups because I'm reading so much. So yeah, stick around to see how I feel about these books. But thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know if this is like the most interesting type of video to watch. I personally really enjoy them, but you know, if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching all of this. And I will see you in my next video, which I believe is going to be my Dublin vlog. So stick around for that because I think it's going to be quite a fun video. But yeah.